How does an innocent boy end up getting a life sentence? And what kind of helplessness forces him to attempt an escape from prison? We'll find out in this shorts explanation video. So welcome, my dear friends. Let's begin. We see that the story begins with the world's most secure prison, Shawshank Prison, a place from where no inmate has ever managed to escape. Into this prison arrives Andy, a big banker. He is accused of murdering his wife and her lover, even though Andy says he is innocent. But because there is no solid proof in his favor, he is sentenced to life imprisonment. In the prison, new inmates are scared and humiliated. The older prisoners even bet on who will cry first. Red, the most well-connected inmate inside Shawshank, places his bet on Andy, but Andy doesn't cry. Red realizes that Andy is a very strong man from within. Slowly, Andy learns the rules of prison life and asks Red for a small rock hammer. Red thinks this hammer is so tiny that it would take 600 years to dig a tunnel with it, but Andy simply smiles. Inside the prison, 3 dangerous men keep troubling Andy and assault him repeatedly. Andy endures their torture for 2 long years. One day, while working on the roof, Andy gives the strictest guard, Hadley, a tax-saving tip. In return, Andy asks for only one thing: beer for his fellow workers. For the first time, the inmates start seeing Andy as one of their own. Slowly, Andy and Red become very close friends. One day, Andy asks Red to get him a poster of Rita Hayworth. Meanwhile, the same gang attacks Andy again, but this time he fights back and ends up in the hospital. The man who attacked Andy gets beaten so badly by the guards that he becomes paralyzed for life. Andy then becomes the trusted man of the warden. He manages the library and even helps the warden turn his black money into white. The warden earns millions, and Andy keeps getting used. During this time, an old inmate, Brooks, is released. After spending 50 years in prison, the outside world feels strange to him. Loneliness breaks him, and he ends his own life. Then comes a new inmate, Tommy. Tommy tells Andy and Red that he once met a criminal who confessed to killing Andy's wife and her lover. This means Andy was truly innocent. Andy requests the warden to reopen his case, but the warden refuses, because Andy knows too much about his illegal dealings. To hide the truth forever, the warden has Tommy killed. Andy is thrown into solitary confinement for 2 months. After coming out, Andy tells Red, "If you're ever released, go to that place I told you about and find a box." That night, Andy appears unusually calm. The next morning, all prisoners come out of their cells, but Andy's cell is empty. For the first time in 20 years, someone has escaped. The guards tear down Andy's poster, and behind it, they're shocked to find a long tunnel. Andy had carved it for years using that same tiny rock hammer. Meanwhile, when the warden opens his safe, he discovers that all the documents are gone, and the fake identity under which he hid his money has been taken over by Andy. Andy withdraws all the money and disappears. Before he can be arrested, the warden takes his own life. In the end, Red is finally released. He goes to the tree Andy once mentioned. Beneath it, he finds a box with money and a letter from Andy. Andy calls him to Mexico. At last, on a beautiful beach, the 2 friends meet again, and the story ends with a warm, emotional feeling of freedom and hope.